Imagine this. You wake up, stare at the ceiling, and your first thought isn't, "I'm alive." It's, "I'm exhausted." Not physically, no, that would be too easy. It's the kind of exhaustion that sits behind your ribs, presses on your lungs, and whispers, "You're not built for today." But of course, the world doesn't care, jobs don't care, responsibilities don't care. So you do what most of us do. You get up, drag your mind like a half-dead battery, and call it functioning. Cute, right? But here's the dark truth nobody wants to say out loud. Working when your mind is not okay feels like walking through a burning building with a to-do list in your hand. You're screaming on the inside, but on the outside, you're nodding politely, replying, "Sure, I'll get that done." You know, the classic human survival performance. You try to appear normal, productive, stable. Meanwhile, your brain? It's buffering like a slow Wi-Fi connection from 2006. Thoughts glitch, emotions freeze, motivation deleted. And yet, somehow, you expect yourself to work at full power. Because that's what we're told to do. Ignore the chaos. Keep producing. Keep existing. Don't make it obvious that you're falling apart. Let me tell you something darkly comforting. Most people you see functioning just fine, they're hanging on by threads too, invisible ones. We all walk around pretending we're fully charged, when in reality, we're surviving off 2%. And the worst part, we gaslight ourselves into believing this is normal. But here's the twist. You can still work when your mental health is suffering, just not in the way productivity gurus will tell you. Their advice is all sunshine and spreadsheets. Meanwhile, your brain is a haunted house with flickering lights. So we're going to talk about functioning in that haunted house without losing the last bit of your sanity. First, stop expecting yourself to move like a machine. When your mental health collapses, your brain isn't lazy, it's overwhelmed. There's a difference. But of course, your guilt won't let you believe that, right? It whispers, "Try harder." So you do, and you break harder. Because when the mind is drowning, pushing yourself deeper isn't discipline, it's self-destruction dressed as ambition. Start with something ridiculously small. And no, not the small Instagram influencers talk about. I mean small like drink water, brush teeth, open laptop. Sometimes work begins with the bare minimum. And if your brain slaps your hand every time you try to do more, congratulations, you're human. Your mind isn't trying to ruin your life, it's trying to survive it. One dark trick that actually works, lower the bar. Not forever, just for now. When your brain is malfunctioning, the goal isn't to excel, it's to stay afloat. Think of it like walking on ice. You take small steps, because if you try running, you'll crack the whole damn lake and fall through. Slow is not failure. Slow is strategy. Here's something else. Anxiety and depression love to tell you that you must finish everything at once. Spoiler, you don't. Break your tasks into pieces so tiny they feel stupid. You'll think, this isn't real work, but your brain will think, thank God, something I can actually do. And slowly, task by task, your mind starts to unfreeze. It's not magic, it's mechanics. And if you've ever caught yourself staring at your screen for 15 minutes, doing absolutely nothing except contemplating your existence, you're not unproductive. You're overloaded. Your brain is trying to reboot itself like an old computer. Give it space. Even machines need to cool down. Now let's talk about the part nobody admits. Working while mentally unwell sometimes means faking stability. Not for others, but for yourself. Acting okay tricks your brain into remembering what okay used to feel like. It's not lying, it's rehearsal. But don't confuse faking functionality with burying your emotions alive. The difference? One buys you time. The other builds a pressure bomb you'll eventually swallow. Allow yourself to feel the cracks. Let yourself be a little broken while still moving. You're not a statue, you're a work in progress with shaky hands. Sometimes functioning on empty means doing the task badly. Yes, badly. Imperfect work is still work. It still moves you forward. The myth that everything must be done with focus, passion, and mental clarity, that's a fantasy made up by people who've never had their mind turn into a war zone. When everything inside you feels heavy, anchor yourself with structure. Not rigid rules, just gentle rhythms. A simple routine keeps your brain from dissolving into chaos. Even animals follow rhythms. You deserve at least that much stability. And let's add a little dark psychology here. Humans are wired to follow momentum. If you can complete one small thing, the brain experiences a chemical shift, a tiny hit of accomplishment. You can use this to manipulate your own mind. Give it an easy win, and it'll be more willing to fight the harder battles. Another truth: you don't have to be motivated. Motivation is a fairy tale emotion we wait for like it's a sign from the universe. When your mental health is suffering, motivation doesn't show up, not even to wave from a distance. What helps isn't motivation, it's direction. Pick one direction and crawl if you have to. Oh, and about people who say, just push through. Ignore them. You're not weak for struggling. You're not dramatic. You're not failing. You're navigating life while carrying an invisible weight no one else sees. Strength isn't pretending to be fine. Strength is continuing to move, even when your mind is attacking you. Let your progress be ugly, uneven, slow, half-hearted, crooked, tired. It's still progress. Some days your best will look like 10%. Other days it'll look like 70%. Both days count. Both versions of you deserve credit, not criticism. The world teaches us to fear slowing down. But here's the darker truth. Slowing down is exactly what saves you. Rest isn't weakness, it's repair. And the mind cannot function if you never let it breathe. So if you're working while mentally falling apart, here's the line you need to hear. You are allowed to exist imperfectly. You are allowed to work imperfectly. You are allowed to survive in whatever capacity your mind allows today. What matters isn't how fast you go, it's that you don't abandon yourself in the process. One day, your mind won't feel this heavy. One day, you'll have clarity again. One day, you'll feel like more than a shadow of yourself. Until then, functioning on empty doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. It makes you brave. And it means, even in your darkest moments, you're still here, still trying, still fighting the quiet battles no one else sees. And that is more than enough.